What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Nights with Those Guys. And why am I not broadcasting here yet? But I'll figure that out at another time. Maybe it takes a few seconds or whatever to kick in. There we go. There we go. Everything's good. You there, Herman?
I am here.
What's up, Matt? How are you? Big Matt, the first or second one there. I saw Fly Natural say he was here earlier. But let me get this thing off of here, this banner, and come to life, like so. Ooh, and move that too. What's up, Jay Santiago? How are you, bro? Um, we have someone who's going to be on the panel tonight who is from the United Kingdom. His name is Geeksvana. He does drone news. I've seen he's been here in the chat room. I've seen him in other live streams, and his
Matter of
intro.
fact,
What
he
happened?
was interviewed by Val the other day, wasn't he?
I think so. I think so. I
Yeah,
believe
because
so. I
I
cannot confirm it. I heard she was going to do it though.
yeah, I was in the chat on that show, and I had spoken to them through the chat.
What's up, James Earl Al Diaz? How are you? How are you? How are you?
Hey, James, how's it going, man? Matt, what's going on?
You guys,
Hey, Santiago, what's up, man?
we got
Who
some
else is there? Fly Natural, what's up, man?
interesting stuff to talk about tonight. I told Geeksvana to come in about 15 minutes after the live stream starts,
Yo,
but
you know what was a travesty today?
what's that?
I started to get out, but I never got a chance to really get out and do what I wanted to do. I did some things around here. I took a little bit of a nap, but I went outside today, and it was a beautiful day to get out there and fly. It was probably optimal for battery time a day like today.
It
And
was earlier. I
didn't
will
get
admit
a
it
chance
was earlier,
to take
but
advantage of it.
like you had mentioned, you tried to get out, and I just decided that I wasn't going to fly today. I needed to do some FPV stuff. And I did have an experience with the LiPo battery. In fact, one of these bad boys here, I don't know if you can see it. I have to pull up, hold on, hang out so I can see it in real time. But this battery right here, um, they're good. They're three cell batteries, and I was charging, and now they say you can charge. I have a jack where you can charge multiple up to seven racing batteries at a time. And I said, no, I just got the charger. Let me make sure I know how to set it up. And I've been charging them with no problem, but this one battery was taking a while. And I said, well, let me look at it. And when I got up to look at it, it was a little puffy. So I was like, uh-oh, it sounds bad. It's about to blow. And I disconnected it and I went outside. Now to check this out, the gas inside was building up so much it turned into a little pillow when I put it on the sidewalk. And then I walked away to go do something and I heard something go pop, and it
Mhm.
was the outer plastic piece, and I could see the inner bag poked through it with a little hole, and it was starting to smolder. And I said, "Oh, this is good. I should record this." But I didn't know how much more it was going to pop because it was still getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So I said, "Let me stay back a little distance." But I did record it while it was smoldering, and I recorded a section after it caught on fire. It just said poof, like that and started burnings and smoking and everything. So before the toxic smoke got too bad, I was already on my way over to get the hose for the garden,
You
and
know,
I
you know,
sprayed it out.
the day they improve on those things and make them a good quality product, those racing drones are going to go skyrocket in price, just like the DJI drones and everybody else's drones.
Well, didn't you send me the link for a DJI battery? DJI 4 Pro battery, and I think they're
Yeah,
asking 200 and something dollars
yeah,
now for a freaking
yeah.
battery, yo.
For Phantom 4 Pro batteries, yes.
Well, since that happened, I'd like to say thank you again because Herman brought me a battery. And Matt goes, now that's a fire. Believe it or not, dude, this little thing, when once it caught fire, once the oxygen started mixing with it, because I believe that's what causes it to catch fire. His 7 HD caught on fire. Mobula 7 caught on fire when connected to 3S party.
Yo, you know what I was going to tell you?
What's that?
My neighbors are driving me crazy right now.
What's happening with them? Are the ones
Holy hell.
upstairs, the one that sound like an army? Small.
No, right out back here, they're barbecuing, and all that smell has been coming in here for like the last 2 hours. It's killing me. About to go over there and turn that table over.
Well, we wanted to talk about tonight, Herman and I, we try to do some research before the stream, you know, so that makes it a little interesting, and we do kind of get on here and have more than an idea what we're talking about. I got you, Al Diaz, but I specifically want to talk about drone in a box.
Drone in a box. Not to be
It sounds
confused with Jack in the Box.
right, right. It's right. That's true. Nothing
But
to
it
do with
pops
Jack in the
out just
Box.
the
But
same.
drone in a box are autonomous drones that come in a box, and you can buy a drone in a box and say set this box up outside your house in your backyard. It's hooked up to the internet and everything. And this drone, one of the drones we're talking about, would have to go. Um, what was it? I'm losing my train of thought. The one we were looking at, the Percepto.
Yeah, the Perceptor. I mean, it's been around a minute now. It's an Israel-based company. The drone, it's designed to be totally autonomous.
Yes, and what we mean by totally autonomous is while doing research, Herman
Basically,
found
what
out some
happens
things.
is you get in the way of the drone if you think you want to fly the drone. It's not designed. It's not a drone designed for you to fly. The drone doesn't want you to fly it. It flies by itself.
Yes, yes, yes. I have a video of the Percepto drone. I'm going to try and see if I can get the audio to play too. It may sound a little muffled because I'm
No,
actually
man, I'm
using.
not hungry. But
What happened?
no, Matt's asking if I'm hungry, but no, the smell, they just got something good going on over there.
I could imagine that's like the emperor's clothes, you know. It's like, come on and eat dinner, and you just smell a dinner. That's about it. And you should yell out the window, yo, I'm live streaming here. At least you could do is give a brother a burger. But anyway, getting back to this Percepto drone, it is designed that once you buy it and hook it up to the internet and put it behind your house. Now, I'm not saying it's an industrial drone, so you could use this thing to do line inspections. It comes with two cameras. Did you find out anything about the cameras? Because you were actually watching the video that
Well,
these guys.
not really just that. The thing about this drone, right? It's not a drone for the average Joe, and the drone is nice, but it's everything about what I don't like about this world we live in. This drone is designed to where you set it up, and let's say you need to inspect your roof every 90 days or whatever, or every 6 months you want to inspect your roof.
Right.
You don't have to take the drone out and put it up and inspect the roof. It knows that in 60 days or 6 months, whatever you have it programmed, that it needs to open up and go and fly that mission.
Yes. Now, this is what we mean by drone in a box.
It also can do security surveillance.
Yes.
So if somebody, let's say someone leans against the fence, this drone automatically detects if somebody leaned against the damn fence, and it takes off by itself and goes and checks it out.
Yes, yes, we're talking the Jetsons here, guys. We're talking the Jetsons, you know, or full automation, or I can't speak.
Autonomous.
Autonomous. The damn thing
Right.
runs by itself.
And when it comes back and lands in its base.
In the box.
It automatically downloads the information that it picked up.
Over the internet, straight to your computer, which you also have hooked up on the internet. Now, I have a video of it. I'm trying to hold on until some more people come in. I'll probably have to show it show it again later. But the topic of the show is drone in a box, because I also found out DHL has a drone in a box that they use to deliver packages and envelopes in China. So I actually have that video as well. Now, not that safe I don't know because this drone is also waterproof and can fly in heavy
In
rain.
any weather,
And
yes.
we have a video of it in a downpour. We don't have the camera with a hose going across Hollywood style. It's actually coming down like that. And this drone is just dum 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 dum.
Well, Matt, when you say it's not safe, you say it's not safe for this drone to be totally autonomous.
Hey,
No, I
what's
don't think
up,
so.
Geeksvana?
I
Yes,
don't think so either.
but hold on, Geeksvana. This is you can come in like within the next 5 minutes or so. We just wanted to talk about a little bit of this stuff. But this drone, the reason that they're creating drone in a box is you can set this thing up behind your house, okay? And say you own property. They say you own 3 acres of land. You can set this thing to be your private security guard, and once you set it, you don't have to go back there no more because like Herman says, once it comes back and lands inside its box, it downloads everything that it took, and you can see it in real time, I'm assuming, via your phone or something like that to that effect as well.
Basically, you would get in the way of the drone if you were trying to fly.
But it flies in the rain and the snow. It's
Hey, Mike
perfectly
Gross,
waterproof.
what's up?
Hey, what's up, Mike Gross? It's perfectly waterproof. And while we're sitting here chilling, give me a minute. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on screen so you guys can see this drone.
And,
It's
and
called,
you're
what is it?
absolutely right, Matt. I don't think that that's safe, but that's not what I don't like about it. What I don't like about it is the fact that honestly, in the drone world, this is still a new industry, and here it is. We have people who are going to school and educating themselves on educating the human being out of its existence.
Right, right. Hold on a second, Herman. Let me just put this on. We can talk. Just let me know if you guys can see my screen here. They actually have a YouTube channel. The drone is called Percepto, and this is the topic of a drone in a box. Basically, like I said, you could buy one of these, and it runs over 5G network. So, this is the box that it's actually in.
Now
I
look
have
at
it
that,
muted.
as big as a doghouse.
Yes. Now, and this is how she loads. Now, this is already a preset mission. Once you have it set up, it knows you could program it to go fly and do a shoot somewhere or orbit something, and it'll go do it. Now you can program it to do security watch, everything. And it's a strange looking bird, but it does work. It's already a working version. If you look at the map on the left, those are all security routes over this property that this drone is set to do. And it does it autonomously every day if you wanted to do it every hour, whenever, and it will do it rain, snow, or shine.
Right? That's the one thing I see. There's things that I like about it, but the whole fully autonomous thing that I don't like.
Right. Now, if you look at the map on the left, the little purple drone is the actual drone itself. And if you look at the overheads, what's good about this is you get the picture on the right is real time. Now, see that person it's following? It has active track. If you want it to track someone that's not supposed to be in that area, it will go off of its course and track that area. So it has 2 cameras. I would take it it's using one camera to scan and one to not scan, but as we find out more info about it, we'll let you guys know. And it is a badass drone. I must admit, I haven't seen anything price wise. Yes, it does film everything in HD. I don't know the resolution. Let me see if you said it's been out for a while, Herman.
Yeah, they've been out since
Hey, what's up, back from the sky?
they've been out a little bit more than a year.
More than a year. Okay. So let me see if I can find the specs of
And
the
you know,
Perceptor
it's
drone.
really industrial based. It's not based. It's not made for the average consumer or even
Dude, dude,
107 guy to just buy to say that I need something like this.
dude, if
This
I had
drone
the
doesn't
money,
need you.
if I had the money, I would get it. Now, from what I understand, they're using this drone in Israel.
Right. It was an Israel-based company.
Yes, yes, it is an Israel-based company. Now, I'm at the Percepto website, and I don't want to watch the video. I'm trying to see if I can find something on specs on it. But enhanced security it does. increase safety and risk detection, optimize operations and maintenance, streamline compliance. Well, let's see, let's click on security teams benefit from additional patrol done by the drone without need for a pilot. And
Right.
this is what we're talking, Herman's talking about. It has its pluses and its minuses because once again, you're taking a job away from
I think it
someone.
has a controller.
What do you need a 107 pilot for if this baby will do it? These patrols leverage cutting edge analytics to detect or track humans in cars or on foot by supervision and intruder detection.
Right.
Now, hold on. It can tell by, I don't know how, but supposedly it can tell who belongs there and who doesn't.
Because it's based on what information you give it. So basically, if it's running security missions, they know no one is supposed to be there at this specific time, or during this time, no one is allowed to be in there without information. Facial
Right.
recognition in the computers and stuff like that will tell it who's supposed to be here, who's not supposed to be here.
Well, I think that what does Matt say? It's only as safe as a human programming, and it would have to be as good as the maps that it uses, because the terrain and geographic areas change all the time, and Google is slow to update maps. Well, Google only updates maps for terrorist reasons. They're usually 2 to 3 years behind. But I see what you're talking about, Matt. But if it's fully autonomous, it would have an updated satellite view of wherever it's patrolling or doing. Now, it does. You don't have to just use it for security. You could take this thing and set it up to fly waypoints, or go to a water tower way over here. Oh, and the distance is greater than any other drone, autonomous drone. Well, autonomous drones, they do have a great distance, but the distance is supposed to be really incredible on it as well. So I could be in Far Rockaway and say I have the airspace and the permission to fly there, and I should be able to fly 8 miles down the beach, take pictures of whatever I want, and fly 8 miles back down the beach with no problem. The problem I have with that is drone highways, rogue pilots, and everything else in between. No, but I do love the fact that it's waterproof, and I did have a video that I could show later on, but it's downpouring rain.
Well,
This thing is
this
just
drone would navigate its way around those things to get back.
yeah. So it has to have a hell of an obstacle avoidance system. You do have a camera in real time, and if you are not home, I believe it will contact you via email to let you know it's about to run its mission, and this is what it's going to do. Now, what did it say earlier, Herman, about the fail safe?
Well, there is no such thing as this drone has we didn't charge batteries, we forgot the SD card,
Yeah,
we missed this checkpoint, we missed that checkpoint, and the drone took off without that. No, it's not going to do that. It's going to check everything. GPS will be up to date before it takes off. It's not going to take off until it goes through its entire checkpoint and everything before it can leave the ground. It will be locked into satellites and everything before it leaves the ground.
well, back from the sky says you don't think Israel's government is using it now. I don't think on the government level, but professionally and business wise, I see them doing it because you can patrol borders with it.
Well, from what I understand from listening with other people about what's going on over in Israel, they have an issue with drones in Israel. That's why right now Israel is actually testing those those guns that used to bring drones down.
Yeah, anti-drone.
All of that stuff is being used in Israel right now because they have issues with their neighbors, and it's just things going on over there.
Well, I do I do think it'll become very popular because this, even though it is it's supposed to be used in industry, I could see some rich guy buying one of these things and having it in his backyard or whatever. I probably wouldn't use it for security purposes. I would just like to know the distance. But of course, you have to register through their website and act like you're, hey, Geeksvana, come on in here, man. I sent you the link already. UK and US governments are both in advanced testing this for swarm autonomous drones. Public finding has been committed by both countries. Um, we don't even want to talk about swarming drones. And that might be a pretty good topic next week because I've seen some videos of them drop swarm drones out of a plane, and what these things did was almost near incredible, but it was a swarm, an active, smart, thinking swarm. But EHang has something to do with it also. Hey, what's up, Geeksvana? And welcome to
Hey guys,
Thursday Nights with those guys, man.
Welcome.
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, what time is it over there in the UK? I know it's about 10.
Yeah, that's right, 10:20.
Okay, all right. So we appreciate you coming on Sunday Nights with those guys. Those of you who don't know who this is Geeksvana. Um, his, but can we use your government name? His
Yeah, my
name's
name's Sean. Yeah.
Sean.
Sean. Mine is Lawrence. Of course, that's Herman
Hey,
on the
Lawrence.
channel as well. And Geeksvana does UK drone news. But before we get into that, we just wanted to have you on here, and more so than being an interview, we could shoot drone questions at you as well as you could shoot drone questions
Nice.
at us because I have questions about how it is to fly in the UK, and you might have questions about how it is to fly here.
Perfect.
Okay, tell us something about your channel. What do you do, etc.?
Okay, well, it's still a very young channel. We've been going just over 2.5 months. It's really a mixture of drone interest from everything from flights to reviews, unboxing. But one thing which has been particularly popular on the channel so far has been our news items, particularly our 2-minute news bulletins, which bring you it's supposed to bring the breaking news that's really happening in those last few days, but package it within 2 minutes, basically, so that you don't have to watch a 10-minute video to find out one thing that you want to know.
Well, that's actually kind of smart because I found out statistically and analytically, the average YouTuber has an attention span of 2 to 3 minutes. If you can keep a YouTuber's interest for 2 to 3 minutes, you got a fully watched video and you get full pay for it and royalties and stuff like that. Now,
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm looking at your back wall. Damn, you play a lot of Xbox. I like
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
I like that because I play
Yeah.
Xbox too. So we're gonna have
Nice.
to hook up. We're gonna have to hook up definitely and see what each
Most
other
definitely.
play. And also, I like the Banksy painting on the wall.
Ah,
there.
thank you. Yes, I have a couple of them on the wall actually. But yes,
You
a
know
big
that
fan.
would be pretty cool. He was over here in New York at one time, and he put
Indeed.
up a few. He put up a few. Hey, what's up, Mark Centroid? What's
Hey,
going on?
Centroid.
He was
Yeah,
up
hey, Mark.
in Manhattan, and he put up a few paintings, and he did one on a door, right? And it was very unique on how he did it because, say, this frame here is the door. If you looked at it from straight on, you didn't see anything. And
Wow.
you can only see this effect at night. And if you look at it from an angle, like you're passing, it
Yep.
looks like a man peeking out the door.
That's
So
fantastic.
it was real. I'm a big fan of Banksy. But
Yeah, he is amazing.
anyway, we appreciate you being on here, and I like your intro. You did all of that yourself on your channel?
Yeah, everything on the channel has been created by myself. I've had a couple of radio studios work up a bit of the some of the jingles and that type of thing, but yeah, otherwise it's all me.
Okay,
so far.
What do you use to do that? Hey, what's up, Michael McReynolds?
I use Filmora Wondershare for all of my editing. For the filming, I tend to use my Osmo Pocket, as it's so versatile. And for things like thumbnails, etc., I use services like Canva and that type of thing.
Okay, all right. Well, you got skills. If you can,
I like this guy.
Can just make sure you type in a room every now and then. Everybody support this man. He has a great drone news channel from the UK.
Thank you, sir.
You know, what do you think? You were listening to us talk about. You're listening to us talk about that autonomous drone.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
what do you think about drone in a box? If you could afford one, would you get one?
I think if I could afford one, and if they open the regulations so that I was allowed to fly one from my property, I could definitely see some benefits in it. I know I've seen one drone in a box, which is, I think it's American produced, which they're trying to get a license for now, which will actually, exactly as you said, it will just fly your property's boundary as basically a regular security patrol. And I could see that kind of thing having a lot of good use. It is just there is just an issue when things become autonomous, that one person can control so many drones, and you have to have a lot of safeguards in place, and that concerns me. It's really the safeguarding. But yes, if I could afford one, I would have one.
I could see what you're saying. Why? What's that, Herman?
No, that is the issue of it. But at the same time, my thing with it is that how it represents the ability to take away work.
Another human job. Another,
Yeah.
like here in the States, I don't know if you have the same thing in the UK, but here in the States, Sean, you can go into a McDonald's and they point you to a kiosk, and they
Yes,
expect you to
absolutely.
order from the kiosk, and you have
Yes.
so many people that aren't familiar with computers, and they don't want to have to say, all right, I want the number 5 minus the fries. It's so hard to do that. Whereas even with these kiosks, I walk straight up to the counter, and the lady's like, did you order over there? I said, no, I'm ordering here. And they have to take you.
Well, for the price of the meal at McDonald's, and I told you this already, they should be taking your order.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. What's up, Drone Epic? With Drone Epic One. So what kind of news could you give us from the UK that we don't know about or possibly heard about over here? Because there's
Okay.
always something coming out every day.
Well, there's really from a UK standpoint. I mean, the channel will always we always cover news worldwide, but from the UK, we've had a couple of near miss incidents recently, which have been causing a little bit of controversy. Mainly because of it's the usual thing where a pilot thinks they see a drone, and so therefore the resulting report demonizes drones completely. We've just had one where a British Airways 777 flying at 6,000 feet and at 330 miles an hour allegedly identified a drone passing within 20 feet of it.
I had wanted to ask you about that. They claim I saw your video on it, but they claim that the drone was square, and
Yes.
I even left a comment saying,
Yes.
how a drone could be that high, and I almost got into an argument with a guy that was commenting in the same stream from your video, and he was saying, well, metal does not freeze at 6,000 feet, and I want to clarify that the statement I was making was plastic should start to freeze at that temperature.
Yeah.
I did say, I may have said metal,
and a consumer drone is not developed enough to necessarily do that. They're not going to over develop a drone and overproduce the quality of a drone just in case you ever get to fly it at 6,000 feet. So it's not going to build into it would have to be something specialized. But interestingly, we have a report that we're working on regarding the Gatwick drone incident, and in that we're actually sending out questionnaires to pilots. So it so happened that we were already talking to some British pilots already, and so far, literally, it's around 95% have said they don't feel themselves as actual pilots that if something was within 20 feet within the parameters laid out by those pilots, that they would definitely be able to say what it was, let alone identify it as a drone.
Right. Well,
to be fair to those two pilots, they actually just said it was a white square box. It was the air proximity board who themselves then on the next line jumped to it being a drone. So to be fair to the pilots themselves, they didn't use the D word.
Okay. Well,
so basically what happened was the pilots didn't put themselves out there to committing to something that if they were asked to identify it, they wouldn't be able to, so they won't say that that's what they saw.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
Matt in the chat room says a drone battery wouldn't get you that high in the air. True, true. Now, I don't know of any consumer-based drones out there that can get you that high and back down. You
Yes.
may go up that high, but you're not landing on battery power that you know.
Exactly. And also where it took place above Potter's Bar in England, we're not talking about a mountainous region here. We're talking about a city area just north of, fairly, really just north of London, and in the sort of Luton area, as far as air traffic's concerned as well. So there's a lot of air traffic up there.
Well,
It would be very strange for someone to be there, and you would have to be going 6,000 from sea level, really, almost.
well, here's my other issue with that story, and I hope they clarify it, because they're trying to put such a bad demeanor, and every time you hear the word drone, they want you to think of something bad, when every day they're showing us that drones are doing good around the world. And the issue that I have is, and if anyone who knows anything, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know this, but if I'm moving at 310 miles per hour, 350 miles per hour, let alone I can see something that small past 20 feet under my wing, the backwash, the
Yes.
backwash from the
Yes.
plane itself would have
Yeah.
blew that thing out of the air.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
know,
Well,
I mean,
to be that close.
if you've ever passed a truck on the highway coming in the same direction, the wind will rock your car. That's the same
Exactly.
thing the plane would do physically.
well, you see, I don't know if you remember me telling you before. It's not about the fact that you see all of these articles of drones doing good things around the world, and they try to put these things of, hey, what's up, Preston? And they try to put out these things about drones and the fear mongering that they're doing. It's not about drones. It's only about those consumer-based drones that you are going to fly, that I am going to fly. Those are the drones that are out there for no good.
Yes.
Hold on a second,
That's
guys.
the fear that they're trying to produce.
Hold on a second, guys. Everyone, please support each other. Now, Justin just joined the panel. He's one of those guys, and he's actually on vacation down in Florida. So, Justin, we don't want to see you get beat up on camera, man. Make it quick.
I gotta say about it, please.
You had a
Wi-Fi is
safe trip?
not that great over here.
You had a safe trip?
Yeah, no, they didn't look
You
at
got
my
to speak a
drone.
little louder.
Did you get any flying in yet?
Rick Howard, thank
I'm
you
gonna-
so much for super chat, man. Everything is appreciated, and it helps those guys sponsor those guys. I really, really appreciate the super chat. If you guys have a question for Geeksvana, being that he's from the UK, I've always wanted to know, in the UK, what is the maximum height you can fly in the UK? Anywhere in the UK?
400 feet AGL.
400 feet standard over there as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Now,
But also that is not affected by what's around you. So if I'm stood within the airspace of a building which is 1,000 feet, I can still only fly at 400 feet from where I'm stood.
so there is no 400 by 400 rule in the UK like there is here in the States.
No, correct. If I'm at the foot of a mountain, it is 400 feet. If I go to the top of the mountain, I can go 400 feet above that. But it's from where I launch, basically. It's from the height you launch at.
Thank you so much, man.
To fly a tall structure, you have to take off from a height.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then the extra issue you have there is that we also in the UK, we're not allowed to fly in built up areas.
So you're not able to fly urbanly like we do here in the States.
Correct. Yeah. So something like Philly Drone Life, his regular flights that he takes up.
So you basically
I would not be able to do that. I'd be arrested.
You basically shot down what I was going to ask you, because you were saying that if you're at 400 feet or at something above 400 feet, you can go 400 feet above that. So I was going to say, if there's a skyscraper here and I'm on a building 3 blocks away or a block away, I can't fly that building. But you said there's no urban flying, so we would definitely get in trouble over there.
Yeah, I mean, if you have control of the building, then you have some extra leeway. And to be fair to our FAA, the CAA, they do have a drone line which even hobbyists can call, and you can check out your flights, and you can tell them, look, I'm doing this, am I okay? And they will say yes or no, because one of our issues as well is that they don't have an actual definition for built up area. And so therefore that's open to
basically
abuse.
drone laws for flying urbanly around buildings and skyscrapers, but you can fly anywhere else basically other than their urban area.
Yeah, indeed. So for instance, if you're at the edge of a town and you want to fly a building, and you have control of that building, so let's say even as a hobbyist, I mean, I've flown monasteries and different type of religious buildings, and some of those have been on the edge of quite large towns, but because we've got control of that building, the CAA have allowed us to fly, because they've let everybody on the property know that there's going to be a drone flying, etc. And yeah, so it's seen as safe. If I did that in the center of the town, there's no way I'd be allowed.
Okay. So basically what we did, like Brooklyn Point, Lauren, he could never do something like that.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we did Brooklyn Point, like when we took off, it was basically across the street from the building. But that building is so damn tall that it's like, ooh.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah, I mean,
more to the top.
Go ahead. Hey, Justin, real quick.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying your vacation, and how the hell did you get away to join our live stream and you're supposed to be with your family?
Well, this is the first day we're just chilling here, but I've been scoping out the maps and everything like that, and I was speaking to Drone Worship because he's in Tampa. I think he's like an hour away from me, but it's I could literally fly from where I'm at now, but like he said, there's like a ton of heliports around, and it's like hard to tell if you can fly or not because most of the heliports are private heliports. So technically, I looked at the Kitty Hawk app. Technically, I could fly right where I'm at now. They just say it's a heliport close by.
Okay, so you just get a warning. All right, cool. Well, I want you to enjoy your vacation, seriously, and hurry up and get the hell back so you can put my drone together, man.
Yeah, I know. I watched the thing when I was on the plane.
This is Justin's radio here and his trash can. And Justin, the 2 cell is too fast to fly in the house, but with the 1 battery, it's perfect. And even outside, I was flying back and forth along the side of the house, in behind the house, and then I'd come back and go back up the side of the house while sitting on the steps that go to my apartment. So
that was do it with the goggles, or are you just doing line
with the goggles? Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But my yard is too small. I need trees and stuff to fly around. So maybe.
Well, here's the deal, Lawrence, with that. After seeing what you guys go through with these things, if I want one, I'll buy one built.
You want to know what?
You could buy it built too, but you're still gonna have those issues. I hate to say.
Now, what do you fly, Sean?
I am strictly a photography flyer, so DJIs and Parrots, basically.
Okay, what do you have in DJI and Parrot?
Mavic Air and the Parrot Bebop and Bebop 2.
Okay, all right, okay. And how long have you been flying for?
Crikey, I would say around about 3 years, 4 years, maybe.
Okay.
All right.
You started with drones, or you did like fixed wing stuff, or the helicopter?
No, yes, I went straight into the Bebop, literally flying it from a mobile phone initially, which was terrible, of course. And then
that was my first drone too, the Parrot Bebop.
Yeah. I mean, and it was great to learn on, especially for someone that wants to do the photography flying rather than FPV. It did teach me a lot, especially when I got the Sky Controller 1, the really big bulky one. My flying moved forward a lot from that point. I have to say, I really enjoyed the Bebop 2, and I think I'd still be flying it if the Mavic Air hadn't come out with such great spec on it.
Okay.
Because apart from the camera, the Bebop 2 was actually really nice. It had a lot of automated functions. It had a lot of the flight plan software on there, etc. was very good.
Yeah, it takes pretty decent pictures too.
Well,
yeah,
the best
absolutely.
feature was the video stabilization. It was a gimballess camera, but it had double video stabilization because most video stabilizers only work up and down, but on a Parrot Bebop, they had one that worked up and down and left to right. So you could yaw, and that picture was solid rock about it. I just thought that the Parrot Bebop should have been bigger.
You're right.
They wanted more battery
Yeah.
life out of it because it's most of it is like
Yeah.
foam and plastic, but they wanted to get as much battery life out of that thing as possible. So that's why it was that size.
What were you saying, Herman?
Looks like you're sitting in the dark.
Oh, because usually the sun, I'm sorry, usually the sun is shining through here, and for some strange reason, it's cloudy as hell and looks like it wants to rain, which is actually good because maybe some of that pollen will go down and my eyes will stop burning.
Man, tell me about it. Between the burgers and the meat they burning in the back over here.
I told you, yell out the window. I'm live streaming here. Send up a damn burger. Just try it. What would it hurt? Rick Howard.
You can see me with the tree.
Bebop 2 was a great bird. But when I was getting into drones, I had considered the Parrot Bebop, and that Sky Commander control didn't come standard with the Bebop. And they were asking crazy money for that thing for that little Sky Commander piece. They
kind of still do too. It's pretty pricey if you can find it.
Yeah, if you can find it. But now I'm seeing kits with the Sky Commander patch. Isn't that the flat panel that's on front of them?
That's the new style controller for the Bebop.
Oh, okay. Because I know you had to have the Commander control. It was like, how would you say? It was basically like taking this square here and putting this big contraption on the front of it to make it to boost its signal.
It looked
And
like a controller for like a robot or something.
It's raining in Jersey.
It's raining in Jersey. That means and depending on what part, if you're in northern New Jersey, that'll be about 3 hours before the rain gets here. But I appreciate that weather reports. Now I know I need to hit you up and find out whatever the weather's doing there, it'll be here 3 to 4 hours later.
It is because that day when we went to the Teardrop Memorial, that rain came in quick. Came from over across Jersey right into New York, across, and kept going all the way out onto the island.
Well, every now and then, Sean, please type in the room to make sure people have subscribed to you, and or also I know it's late over there, so I don't know if you can hang out the full 2 hour length of the show. It's already 5:42. We're 50.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good for probably at least another 45 minutes, possibly longer.
That's cool. Please. Hey, Val, please.
Hey,
Val. How's it going?
Hey, Herman. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Val. Didn't you interview Sean?
I did.
And did you find any dirt on him? Because I missed it. Did you find any dirt?
Oh, lots of dirt. Lots of
skeletons. Lots of skeletons.
Lots of skeletons.
Val is very thorough. She interviewed me too. And she asked me a question about a video from when I very first had a drone. My first drone was the SEMA X8C. Okay. The one that looks like a Phantom, but weighs an eighth of an eighth of it and has a little camera on it that shouldn't even have the word camera on it. And she found that video, and I hadn't got you on that video in years, and she gave me one. So I appreciate it.
When we all start out, we rarely get comments on our stuff. So I love to go back in the videos all the way back to the beginning ones and start leaving comments as I go through.
Yeah, and if you didn't know, Sean, Val is officially one of those guys as well. She has. I sent Paul. Did I send Paul an invite? Where is Paul? What's up, Brent?
Shooting some shit somewhere.
Yeah. He's probably out flying. He'll come in later. You guys, please support each other. Geeksvana is from the UK. He has a drone.
Hey guys.
UK drone news channel. Check it out. He has some very informative stuff. Like he says, he does do world drone news, but with a accent. with a European accent,
Lawrence?
Huh?
Matt said it's raining uptown.
Oh, wow.
Are you serious? It's already raining in Manhattan? Okay, it's raining here in northern Manhattan. Hey Matt,
Yeah.
we were over by you one time, and Herman was like, "Yo, call Matt, see if we can get him to leave work." But
Hey, everybody.
it didn't work. It didn't work. And Val,
Hi.
how was your day? What's going on? Tell us.
Um, yeah, my day was I've taken a nap, my first day off, and I worked like 22 hours over the last 2 days, so I got a nap. So that was the excitement of my day.
You might like today's talk because Herman and I were talking about drone in a box.
Oh yeah?
Drone in a box is these companies are coming out with a drone, an autonomous drone that you can put behind your house, and say you own a certain amount of acreage. This drone, after you use it once or twice or tell it what to do once, it will do it automatically. And Herman was saying this is a great idea, but what's messed up about it is it doesn't need you to fly anymore. Periodically, it will go and patrol the area and come back and land in a box and download data, or you can see it in real time.
See a controller for this drone.
Right, the controller must look like an airplane cockpit.
The drone knows that it needs to fly the property every 2 hours. The drone will deploy, fly its mission, and come back and recharge and download the information.
Yeah, this is it right here.
Cool.
Wow.
This is what it looks like now. This drone is waterproof.
Okay, are you guys serious about this?
Yeah, it's waterproof. It'll fly in any kind of weather.
Yes. I showed a video of the time.
It can sense if someone came. Let's say you have a secure property. If someone came over the fence, the drone would deploy and fly straight to that area and start surveilling. Why?
And what's great about it, what I like about it is, if the drone is patrolling an area, it will actually see someone in. Here's another one. I forgot about this one. I don't want to show you this one yet. I didn't start streaming anyway. I didn't hold on. You guys can see it. I didn't start streaming it. That's why.
No.
This is another drone in a box right here. Hold on. Let me rewind the video and blow up the screen. You guys can see this? Yeah. This is by a company called Aerobotics.
Wow.
And all of these companies are creating this drone in a box that can patrol an area, do pipe inspections, everything. And you no longer need SD cards and stuff like that. This bird
to fly.
It will do it all. And I say do it all. You could say go inspect these lines every 30 minutes or once a week. And once you start this thing up and program it, it's by Aerobotics. It will do this. It has a thermal imaging camera. It will patrol an area, etc. And as soon as it lands, it downloads all its data. Keep in mind, you can see in real time, as you see right here, the things. It picks up heat. It picks up cold. This particular one right here. All right. I didn't do a whole lot of research on it, but drone in a box seems to be like Jack in a Box, because they are literally going to sell you these drones. They're supposed to be for corporate and industry, but from what I could see some rich guy having one of these in his freaking backyard. You know what I'm saying?
So I like Mike's comment. He goes, "Yeah, Val, it's a drone in the box. You just turn the handle on the side, and when the music stops, it pops up."
I just don't see it being any fun.
Now that I'd buy.
This particular one? Oh, the drone in the box.
Oh, when you crank up,
Mike's drone in the box, I would buy that.
Yes.
Now,
and I would call it Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box? Well,
isn't that what they used to be called?
That's right.
Well, we used to have a restaurant here in the States called Jack in the Box.
We still have.
What happened?
We just don't have them out here. New York sent them packing.
Yeah. New York did send them packing. But Sean, I appreciate you coming on here. How much time do we have with you? If you want to hit them with a question or anything, anyone in the audience, hey, what's up, Roger? You want to ask him anything, now's the time, but please go and support his channel as well as supporting everyone else. Android, you can fly your drone within the line of sight, can go further with spotters. Now,
Yeah, Big Matt was asking about how far we can fly over here, and it is line of sight, and you can go further with spotters who are in communication with you.
okay, now check this out. If you have a spotter with a pair of binoculars that can see a quarter of a mile.
No.
You're gonna try to get that one by every single time. It's never gonna work. I already told you what I thought line of sight was.
Yeah, I have actually asked that of the regulator here, and they said it is unaided sight.
Unaided line of sight. So if I had contacts with magnifying glasses or something, would that work? Would that be considered?
Yes.
That would be considered as an aided sight. If you're allowed to wear anything that is required to give you normal sight, so glasses, and that's it.
Dude, just leave there and come here to the United States to fly.
It's the same.
Oh, that is coming soon. Don't worry.
It's the same thing. We have the same thing. That's why I told you. Line of sight to me is if I went out there like about 4 blocks down, I know it's 4 blocks down directly ahead in front of me. And I don't see nothing around it. It's in my sight.
Yeah, but line of sight is looking at the screen on the controller. That's my line of sight.
Oh my god!
Then you got some guys that would say, "I got the best sight with the goggles on. I'm seeing what the drone is seeing."
Right.
Okay. But according to Sean, that's aided. That's assisting your sight, and that wouldn't work.
Well,
But
there is actually one fairly contentious issue here in the UK at the moment as to whether or not FPV flying is technically legal, because you have to have line of sight of your drone.
I was just getting ready to ask you that.
Yeah,
there must not be a whole lot of FPV flies in the UK, and I would refuse to believe.
There's a lot. It's a big sport here, and it's a big hobby.
So, dude, you need to start flying FPV.
Yeah. If you saw my flying with a DJI, you might not recommend that I fly with an FPV.
Well, look, with experience. What's that, Herman?
I know a guy like that.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't even want to ask who it is. I'm not going to ask who it is.
Every time I drive past Grand Army Plaza, I still can't see how.
Yeah.
Okay, we have what Herman is talking about is we have a place in Brooklyn called Prospect Park, and it has a roundabout. Okay, now what would you say the width of the roundabout is? Maybe about
You got 3 lanes going this way, 3 lanes going that way, and 3 lanes going this way, and that guy still hit the damn building. That's a block and a half.
There's a copy of a European statue in the center there of this roundabout, and the guy that we're talking about, was trying to do
an orbit,
a manual orbit around this place. Now, keep in mind where the statue is and where the buildings are. If you were to look at it in blocks, the buildings were maybe a block away from the statue, at least. And this guy was doing an orbit and hit a glass building, and there was another pilot there that was like, "Oh, you hit the building! Oh my God, run!" We're not going to mention any names to incriminate anyone, but the guy was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go recover my drone," and the guy that said, "Oh bleep, let's run," was recording. He's like, "Oh my God, he's up on the roof." And I mean, he went in the building, asked the doorman, who got fired for this, past the doorman up to the roof, and looked down, and his drone had hit the building and landed on somebody's hammock. And he was able to recover the drone, of course, collect an insurance check for it and get a new one. But we now call that maneuver doing an Elliot.
Oh, Elliot.
Because
that's superb.
I could see him doing that.
I don't care. Oh, his excuse was that he had turned his sensors off. And this was in the daytime, but we came to find out he was flying the night before, and he said he turned his sensors off, and we kind of caught him because he said he turned his sensors off at night. We all know with DJI drones, your sensors don't work at night.
Well,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Although you, to be fair, you do actually end up turning them off because
April Thomas.
all it does is it bleeps at you that they're not working. That's literally all you get.
Well, we now call that maneuver. We were joking around for a while. I'm gonna do a half Elliot around this building. He's like, I'm gonna do a full Elliot around this ship. So
So,
Nice.
Geeksvana, can you fly with the two-way radio in the UK? Flight Fanatic wants to know.
Yeah. Yes. Technically, yes. That question has been put to the CAA, and yes, you can. Although again, it's not really something that they want you to do. It would be extremely complex to set up, and of course,
to fly with the two-way radio.
well, yeah. I mean, from the point of view of proving that that's what you did, basically. So you would have to show some evidence that you had spotters and that you had the two-way radio set up, etc. So you couldn't just fly and then say we had this. You'd actually have to have the evidence to back that up.
Here's a question. Here's a European question. If I'm flying with you, if we're both out flying, can you declare me as a spotter if I see your drone?
No.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you.
I actually had to think for a second because it would all be about if we were both flying at the same time. No, unfortunately.
So you guys actually need real spotters if you plan on doing any decent flying. Like, say you want to shoot this cup, you need a spotter with you to shoot this cup, or just for out of line of stuff.
No, just if it's going to go out of line of sight. If you're within line of sight, you're absolutely fine.
Okay. I'm just not cool with that. Hey, what's up?
Rebuild.
I'm just not cool with that not being able to fly urbanly, considering that's what I'm used to doing. But
yeah, I mean, I suppose we have an advantage over here that we have a lot of countryside. We have a lot of small towns and villages which you can fly buildings in. I mean, but bear in mind that you have to be even a building. If you don't have permission from the building, you still have to stay 50 meters away from that building. So it's pretty restrictive here at the moment.
I thought Canada had it bad. I really did.
I still don't understand how Canada can enforce their drone laws. A bird is a free spirit. You can't tell me I can't fly within a certain amount of feet of a bird when I'm not trying to. He's trying to fly near me.
Right. So like Herman and I, we shot the Teardrop Memorial in New Jersey. It's actually a memorial that Russia gave us. Their present day leader gave us, and I believe they put it in Bayonne, New Jersey, because nothing else is over there but cruise ships, because it's supposed to memorialize world terrorism. And there's actually metal from the Freedom Tower, from the World Trade Center, in this particular memorial and things like that. And when Herman and I got there early, we were flying, and people started coming in. Now we put on vests now to fly, so people see these guys are flying drones over here, and they tend to leave us alone also if you kind of stand out away from everyone.
Absolutely.
And after a while, Herman was like, come down and land. I'm like, why? He's like, all these people are here. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And we just stood there and talked for a little while. Now, what are the rules in the UK pertaining to flying over groups of people, around people?
Okay, so people in general terms, again, it's 50 meters, and you're allowed to create a 50-meter bubble, but really it can't be groups of people. Really, I mean, you're not allowed to fly over crowds. Is the actual designation? So I wouldn't fly over maybe large parks with lots of people in there, but certainly if I was flying at a historical building, and there's people walking in and out, then you're fine as long as you create the 50-meter bubble around it.
So it's basically a 50-meter rule. If you stay out of that outside of that 50-meter radius, hey, what's up, Phantom? You're safe enough to fly.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they used to have a 160-meter rule. Well, I said they used to. Technically, they still do have a 160-meter rule of cars.
Someone's house is burning. I hope not. But fire truck just went through the block. Hey, Justin, how the hell have you been able to sit here on a live stream for so long and your wife and nobody slapped you up?
Oh no, I have time.
He got time. He probably gave them money and said, "Go get your hair done."
But I have a question for him. How's the
Speak louder,
enforcement?
louder. Speak louder.
You hear me?
Yeah.
I have a question about the enforcement on drones. Are there like people that go around that specifically look for drone operators?
No. What they've actually done over here is, well, first of all, our regulation is still fairly young. The registration of drones only happens later this year. And we have our legislators are looking closely at a new drone bill, which is going to be announced next year. So things are probably going to change a lot in the next 12 months.
Okay.
But our FAA, the CAA, have actually very recently agreed with our police forces that rather than they react, it is now a police matter. So the police will actually react to it. So which is both good and bad. Because again, you can get bad police here, but generally, in my personal opinion, our police are fairly intelligent. They're fairly decent people, and they will listen to you. So they will come up to you, and if they don't know the rules, they'll ask you to show them the rules. So yeah. So the enforcement's done by the police. So at the moment, it's not heavily enforced.
Okay.
How much time do you have with us, dude? Because I know you said you had about 45 minutes, and that was maybe about 50 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm still fine. I'm absolutely fine. I'm enjoying myself.
Okay.
I had to laugh about that part about bad police.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was hoping that somebody would say something because the police are totally different. I mean, despite what you see on the news, Sean, there are a lot of nice police officers. For the most part, here in New York, majority of them are nice, but there are a lot of assholes too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, indeed. I mean, and we do get that here. We do get that here. Is
But how are they as far as drones? I mean, how do they react when they see a drone or they see someone flying? Yeah, and
pretty decently, but you have to remember that 90% of the public here also react very well to drones. If I'm ever flying in a park or anything else like that, I rarely get any kind of objection. I rarely get any kind of trouble from that. People are generally very open to it. So we don't get the complaints going to the police in the first place, if that makes sense. So I think if the public turn against them more, then we might have more problems.
We have the same thing here. It's just that we have parks people, the people who work for the parks department, not so much the police, but more so the people who work for parks that do a lot of fear mongering. And they like, well, one day we were in the park, and this is a park that we've flown in a few times, and probably before this woman even had a job there, and she came over to us, and she was just, I don't want to minimize what, or trivialize what she does for a living, but she was basically cleaning the park. And she came to us and told us about, oh, you can't fly here, and if my supervisor was here, they would confiscate your drone, and this, that, and the other. And you remember those drones shut down the airport, and I'm like, don't preach to me the fear mongering that you use to scare the people who come into the park, because all of these people in the park welcomed us. You're the only one that didn't.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've had something fairly similar recently. We have royal parks here, which are basically former hunting lodges, that type of thing in London, where Henry VIII, etc., would go hunting at the weekend, and they're now protected parklands. So they're really nice. A lot of them are in the middle of London, so it's nice green space within a city. All of those parks have banned droning, apart from there is one which has a flying field. And again, we get really good feedback from people whenever I fly there, and a few of my subscribers fly there as well, actually. But recently, I always call the park rangers beforehand because they have protected deers and stags at the park, and if there's something going on with them, they ask you not to fly.
Right.
And she actually then started a whole thing with me where she said, yes, you can come and fly, but you can't take pictures and you can't record with your camera. And I just found myself having to really bite my tongue because it's like, actually, you can't tell me to do that or not do that. You can tell me not to fly in the park because you've got something going on that day, and I'll fully respect that. But you know, so again, we do have that issue in the parks here as well, with the rangers.
Well, you know what the issue we have here in New York, and I've been complaining about this. I've been sending emails to the New York City Department of Parks, and every year they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to print out a new sign that says no barbecuing, no drugs, no loud playing music unless you're having an event with a permit, no this, no that, no blah, 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 blah. And every year, they're training their Parks Department employees to tell us drone pilots that there's no flying in the park. And if you and they're not training them right, because Herman and I were in a park one time, and I was actually teaching someone how to fly a drone or something to that effect. And the lady from the Parks Department in this particular park where I fly, I've been flying there 3 years, and in 3 years I've seen 2 supervisors. And what the lady says, well, there's no more flying drones. There's no flying drones in this park. Now Herman, the character that he is, we tend to play with these people because we know the drone rules. So Herman
Absolutely
goes, well, how long has this been? And she goes, since drones been out. Herman and I listen to each other like, huh? Since drones been out. You know, so they're not only are they misleading their employees, but they're giving wrong information. Because if you run into someone like Herman, me, or Justin, or the guys that fly here in New York, we are very well versed on drone rules, and it's really messed up because there's a state park exactly next door to the park. I can step over a rock and be in a state park. And I had a guy tell me, and he was a supervisor, hey, why don't you go over there and fly in the state park? And I said to myself, if he had knew that flying in state parks was illegal, he wouldn't have said that.
Absolutely.
You know, but like Herman said, it's a fear mongering. I wanted to know if the fear mongering was going on in the UK like it is here in New York.
Yeah.
Because, go ahead.
It is to an extent, but it's on a bigger scale, really. Mike Roche asked before whether the Gatwick incident, and he asked true or not, and it's issues like that we're having, really, where it seems to be every day there's a new story about a drone interacting with aircrafts, and that's giving the public a very bad impression,
right?
In those terms, because of course no one wants to risk lives. But as far as the local authorities, actually we actually have quite a good time with that. For instance, a very large borough near me actually has signs up that say no radio controlled aircraft. But when I called the green spaces manager for that borough, he actually explained that's radio controlled helicopters and planes. What they don't want is a very large RC helicopter taking off from there and hitting someone. He said that in actual fact, for us to ban drones, we would actually have to go back and change the bylaws. So he said, just carry on. Basically, you're absolutely fine to fly. So we have that a lot here.
The point that I was trying to make is that the New York City Department of Parks, there's a lot of freaking parks in New York, and every summer, right, like before today's Memorial Day, we honor our soldiers and things like that here in the States, and this is the official start of summer. Now, from today until Labor Day, which is at the end of the summer, certain parks, I don't suggest flying in. Certain beaches you're not supposed to fly on, but there are ways around it by flying over the water and things like that. But what I was getting at is every year they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make these brand new shiny signs for the parks opening on Memorial Day and everything, and not once do they put no drone flying.
Yes.
Well, you know what, Lawrence? The borough happens to be that borough that if it used to happen in New York, it's still being done in the Bronx.
My question is now is like, if there's no sign that says you can't fly a drone, are you allowed to fly? Even though a Parks Department person says you're not supposed to fly here, can I go to them and say, I don't see no sign that says I can't fly a drone?
Well, you know, based upon the airspace and what I've checked out, like right over here, big old Prospect Park, they don't like you flying in there. I'm gonna put it that way. Because as far as the airspace is considered, you are allowed to fly from there.
Yeah.
Yes. And now they changed the FAA laws as well as the CAA laws. And the FAA drone laws say, okay, you guys have been flying in no-fly zones, okay, deemed no-fly zones, and you've been getting away with it. Now, if you're caught, something's going to happen to you. I can understand that. But in the places where there are no no-fly zones, and you're flying there, people are still saying, well, hey, I don't think you should be flying here. Isn't this illegal? Don't you have to call the airport? I get it all the time on my videos. I fly in a spot that is not in a no-fly zone, and people are going, how come I couldn't fly there? You know why you couldn't fly there? Because you were probably 2 blocks over in a no-fly zone.
Exactly.
You know?
And if it's in uncontrolled airspace, hey, you're free to fly.
According
to the FAA.
You know, you don't realize how close controlled airspace is to uncontrolled airspace.
It's like I stepped over here and hey, I'm in
they're literally
over here. I'm in uncontrolled space.
Right, Justin. Right, there were literally places, Val and Sean, here in New York where you cannot fly here, but if you go 3 blocks over, you can.
Wow.
Now, keep in mind when you go up, if you go in that direction, you're going to hit the no-fly zone. You're going to get warnings and stuff like that. But it's just a pain in the behind to have to walk on coals. I call it.
Right.
You know,
so I have some drone news, but it's not my news.
Go for it.
Everyone knows that Paul bought the Evo.
Mm-hmm.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah. Is that Paul
Murray?
Sent
it back.
Paul Murray?
Why did he send it back?
Yeah.
Why?
He just said that he was flying a boat, a ship. And when he got around to one side, the camera went down, it went dark. And he had to, if you watch his video, he had to clip out a whole section. Very unhappy with it. And he said it may be good. It might be. Yeah, Paul's so sweet. It might be good. But he'll just stay with the DJI.
You know why he sent it back? Because it didn't have OcuSync 2.
Maybe.
You know what's funny about that? I had a guy do that to me with his Mavic Air. We were flying Interference Park, and I think he flew over towards the sphere in the park where they had the World's Fair years ago, and over there I think they were improving the geofencing for the no-fly area, and I don't know what happened, but it triggered the return to home. So he says to me, it's coming back home, but he goes, I can't see where I'm at because the camera's doing something funny. And he turned to me and handed me his controller and said, here, you bring it back. Wow. I'm like, what is it looking at? The camera went limp, and I just had to wait for it to come back to where I can see it overhead and then, take control of it. But I couldn't see where it was. The camera just went limp.
Now,
Ouch.
Hold on. I got one question. We have to all talk to Billy Kyle and slap him in his hand, because did you see the video he posted about taking off his Inspire 2 from a boat? He almost lost his drone.
Oh.
Where?
Really, if you look on Billy Kyle's Facebook page, he posted a picture of him taking off from a moving boat with his Inspire 2, and it clipped the bottom rail and almost went into the. And it barely caught itself and went straight. And I'm just looking at him. And if you look at his face in the video, he's just like, nothing happened. I'm just like, yo, that's $7,000 I could have went into the water.
Yo, that happened to my Phantom over at Calvert Vox landing, coming over the wall. It clipped the bottom of the top of the wall, and it pitched forward a little bit, and then it leveled itself out.
Yeah, that's kind of like what the Inspire did. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, that's not a good mistake to make. I'm sorry. So we gotta slap him in the hand. We see him like, don't do that no more.
That would certainly be an expensive mistake.
Yeah.
Whoa. No, you pull that out. You dive in behind that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You dive in behind that and get that above water first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's the situation out here. Like, you know, some of these places, like when we were in Long Island City, if we went a block and a half from where we were flying, we would have been in a no-fly zone. But just right outside, it still sound funny to you, but it still sounds funny to me every time I talk about it. When me and Lawrence flew, we were a part of the mission that we flew from right by the precinct. And, you know, 2 batteries deep, we noticed that there's a cop sitting in the car right there, just sitting there watching us.
Yeah. And what's funny about it is when we were pulling up, we saw him go by, and then we usually hang out outside the truck and we talk and we grab our gear, and you know, then we decide to go where we're going to fly, which was right in front of him. So we're setting up our drones and everything. We figured a cop is sitting there looking at us, but whatever it was, he just needed to get away from the precinct because the precinct was here, we were here, and the cop was right there. So we're used to police officers coming up and sitting there watching to see what we're doing on the street when people are going back and forth to work, you know. But this particular area is a great area to fly over a railroad yard and the fly that are being
constructed. So if you're in an area like that and you're taking off, if you're on an active sidewalk with people walking past, you're able to legally take off?
Well, what it is, the particular area, I need to clarify that because I don't want you to think that it's a busy city street. And
yeah, no, indeed, yeah.
No, this particular street, there was a school on the opposite side of us, and it's a gigantic train yard. Now cars and everything come by.
Industrial area, actually.
What happened?
It's actually an industrial area.
Yeah.
A lot of warehouses and stuff like that.
Right. So people are going to and coming from work. It's not the hustle and bustle, you know, like ants. It's like one person every 10, 15 minutes or so. You know, so they're like that. We do know some individuals that just take off in the middle of a crowd, but we won't go into that.
Or middle of an intersection.
That neighborhood, honestly, if we were flying like this now, say about 8 to 10 years ago in that neighborhood, wow, that would have been something. That neighborhood used to be a carnival at night.
Yes. We might have had to fly back to back just for you know, if you've seen Philly Drone Life, like I heard he was flying and this dude walked past him, and then the guy went past him again, so Philly noticed, and he's flying with his back against the wall. So the guy must have passed him like 3 or 4 times and just decided, you know what, I'm not going to mess with this guy. And Mike is kind of big too, but he must have been trying to get himself amped up to try something. But once you saw Mike put his back against the wall, because I'm pretty much like that too. If you back me against the wall, I see everything happening. But
no, I crazy in that neighborhood though.
Sean, I want you to keep in touch with us, man. Always, please come to the live streams. Please,
thank you, I will.
Keep doing drone news and stuff like that. And I guess we can officially make you one of those guys. So in order to do that,
I was gonna say,
fantastic.
We didn't do the drop yet.
Sean,
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the drop. Now the way it goes is, I or Herman usually go Sunday nights is sponsored by, and then I hesitate and go those guys. So we all have to get together and do it at one.
Okay, and let's be clear. Let's show a little enthusiasm, not sponsored by those guys.
Those guys.
That's
So we've got a few people in here, Sean, that have said it like they were on Valium or something. Those guys.
And one eye closing.
Those guys.
And then if you want, I could do really
Choo-choo.
some more drone in a box stuff, and we could probably talk about what you guys think about it because DHL. But let's do this drop right now, okay?
Okay.
So, what the hell is that on your hands?
Let me just do some stretches here.
Man, what the hell is that, Justin?
What?
That was a lizard. I'm
A lizard. The hell with that, man.
A lizard.
I'm stretching
Yeah,
too
all
because
over
I gotta get ready.
All right,
Yeah, there we go.
all right. Let's do the drop really quick before Val gets out of here. Are you ready, Sean?
I'm ready.
Okay. When I hesitate, I'm gonna say Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by, and then I go those guys. So you ready?
Okay. Yes.
All right,
Beautiful.
here we
Ready.
go. Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by.
Thousands.
Oh,
Guys.
there
Ooh,
we go.
did I do it wrong?
I
No.
don't know.
Well,
But thank you so much. I've given you a blue wrench. If you notice in our stream, Val, thank you for hanging with us. If you notice, Sean, in our stream, we don't make everyone administrators,
Yeah, I did
and
see
it's
that.
because you either have to be on the panel to become one of those guys. And basically, I used to do internet radio shows, and because I made everyone an administrator, I was hacked out of my own show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by not making everyone an administrator, you kind of keep the reins on everything that's
Exactly.
So we
Exactly,
have to do it again
happening.
because
Okay.
I said you're sponsored by Val's Life.
Oh, that's what
You didn't catch me, but I thought I shouldn't leave it like that.
So
Sorry,
just
guys.
as Lawrence was talking about people stabbing him in the back, you decided to stab him in the back.
Yeah, I wanted to show him what it was like.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Sunday nights with those guys is sponsored by
those.
Those guys.
Guys.
Thank you, Val. I
Good-
didn't
good
catch
Geeks
that.
of
I
England.
actually did
Those
jazz
guys.
hands then as well.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot that part.
Oh, she
Those
the,
guys.
the jazz hands.
Yeah, man.
They dragged Justin away.
Is there anything that you're working on, Sean? I mean, I didn't really intend for this to be an interview. I wanted you to come on and
Cool, man,
hopefully
yeah.
pick up some subs that will stay and not delete
Thank
tomorrow
you.
like they do on.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You know, you have a good channel. I think you need to keep pushing. You're doing everything right. You have that 2 to 3 minute attention span for the YouTubers.
Indeed.
And
Yeah,
and
I'm really just trying to practice in the whilst I don't have high numbers of subs, I'm just trying to practice my art and try and get things better and better as the videos go on, so that when I do gain a bigger and bigger audience, hopefully I'll have more, more to show them basically. So,
well, then keep
but
going.
we've got a few good things coming up.
Just keep going to other people's live streams. You're gonna find out
Yes.
for every 10 people that subscribe to you, you're gonna get 3 to 5 real subscribers. And as long as you
Indeed,
think
yeah.
that way and with that concept, you'll be fine. Um,
What I've noticed with some of these live streams, though, Lawrence, when you pick up a lot of subs in one night, where do they go by the morning time?
I don't know, Alta Val show or something.
Subs go by morning time. You know, I've
Oh,
picked
boy.
up hundreds of subs over the course of hitting the power down on the computer
It's officially raining.
this morning, and they're just gone.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like, where do
Mm.
they hang out at? Do they go to the same place where the people that work at Home Depot go when you walk in the store?
And you need help, right? And you need help, right? Aerial Landscape says YouTube removes them. Well, it's officially raining.
Or why would they remove them?
Oh,
Well, I have on one educational course that I went on for YouTube, I was told that apparently YouTube keeps a list of your inactive subscribers, and as you gain more subscribers, they will take a percentage of those inactive subscribers away from you,
Okay.
so that you don't just drop for no reason. So sometimes you'll feel like you've had a lot of notifications saying this person subscribed, but actually when you look at your number, it's barely moved.
Right.
And that's because for every new subscriber, they've taken away someone who has never watched a video of yours or has never interacted with you.
I got that, but I don't understand that if they subscribe to your channel, what right do they have to take them away?
It's in their user agreement. It's they have every right to how do they audit subscriber feedback.
So basically what they have the right to do is to tell you who you can and cannot subscribe to and for how long.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, basically, which is why it's always good if you do subscribe to somebody, it's always good to go to the channel and leave a comment on a couple of the videos and that type of thing, because we're never sure how much interaction it takes. But if you just go and support a few videos and just have a chat with them a few times,
I try.
then that can work.
It gets really hard. It gets really hard. Now, every video that I put out, if someone has the courtesy to comment on a video, then I will do my best in real time to comment back. Because I found if, hey, what's up, Rotodil? I found out if you let your comments build up, you lose people.
Yes.
For some stupid reason. Why? I know not. But I want to get into this more drone in a box news. We talked about that other company, Pepsi Cola or whatever the hell it was. I forget the name of it.
Yeah.
Perspecto or something.
Yeah.
But DHL actually has, hold on a second. Let me just get this going here. It's
but DHL would be doing that here in the States.
No, DHL is actually doing this in China. DHL has a drone in a box for its own company. And here we go. I just needed to find screen share. And what it is right here. It says DHL kicks off regular autonomous drone deliveries in China. Now, what I like about this is they actually have a video here to show you one of the workers. I'm going to blow it up now so you guys can see it and talk along. Now, here's me sending out mail through expensive ass DHL, and this is their drone in a box. So every DHL office, these guys could be sitting in a car somewhere delivering mail to this box. And what happens is, hold on, let me mute this if I can.
UPS has these, but there's no drone in it.
Yeah, there's a drone in this one right here, as you see. And DHL, of course, flies Europe a lot. So I don't know if you've seen anything to this, Sean, but this package, most DHL offices in China will have this particular drone in a box, and it goes off autonomously. Apparently, it can carry a payload due to the size of that box, and it doesn't look like it moves very fast either. But I don't know the size of it. It could be the size of an Inspire or bigger. I'm assuming because of the weight of the box and the motors. But this guy is monitoring it to make sure that it goes where it's supposed to. And if you notice, it has a transponder, something they're putting in new drones. This is the box at the other end of the line. Okay. And this guy sees, okay, I'm expecting a delivery from Val going to Sean. Now, the only thing, they use a retina scan to open it. So I'm wondering if you have a disgruntled customer out there, how
It steals your eyeball?
Yes, it uses a retina scan. Yes, it does.
So basically it's only for the employees' use.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if you guys saw that because I didn't click on my freaking speaker on my picture the way it was supposed to.
You go to that thing to pick up your package, just like everything else here in New York, you'd have to beat on that thing before it opens up and gives you your package. The customer service number on the side to call up somebody, automated system that sends you through the runaround. And your
in another country
for like 3 days.
In another country, though, you forgot that because customer support is never from your country. Okay, so could you imagine someone in the UK calling customer support and they're calling Tijuana, Mexico? And my package will not come out of this box. What the hell am I supposed to do? What I don't
eye up against the scanner and it should open. It's not opening.
Right. Could you imagine? Do you have they're asking you, do you have colored contacts in? Is that the eyeball you're using?
And God forbid somebody from DJI goes and works over there. They're gonna want to know what device are you using.
Right.
Are you using a recommended device?
Yeah. Just, I don't know if you with DJI, Sean, but every time you have a problem, the first thing they ask you, well, what device are you streaming through?
Yeah, I tend to avoid their customer service. It literally is just a vacuum of time.
I think they've blocked Herman's number He puts them through the ringer though. He puts them. Look, he's like, get me a supervisor now because you don't
Yeah.
understand what I'm trying to tell you here. Then the guy just
As,
asking.
as he should at those prices, though, as well. You know, when you're paying that sort of money, you really should get some customer support. But
Well, before I got into DJI, I was warned that they have very bad customer service, but we have a way around it here in the States. There's an insurance company called State Farm, and they insure your drones. As long as you have a proper receipt and stuff for
yeah,
the drone, they will insure it. If you pay $2,500 for the drone at present day and it drops to 1,000, they still give you that $2,500 or whatever for the drone. So that's one way without dealing with DJI and just going and
yes,
buying
indeed.
another one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have that here as well, which is very useful.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you heard of there's an app out there that you're supposed to be able to get drone insurance on the fly? Are you familiar with?
Yeah, yeah, I have seen that, and it is available here as well.
Okay, I don't remember the name of it, but I was wondering if they were using something similar like that in the UK. Val,
Yeah, it is available here.
Billy
what
actually
happened?
video on that, Lawrence.
What happened, Sean?
Billy,
We do have that available here, but it's very expensive. But again, insurance in this country is absolutely fine as long as you're insuring something for the year. Any kind of short-term insurance in this country seems to be extremely expensive.
Okay, okay, all right. You said you used to do internet radio, so Val, but hold on a second, Val,
Yes,
are you doing a show later?
I am.
Well,
Oh,
let us know when and where so we can know. Usually I eat dinner and check out your show.
Yeah, so last week I did a 1 hour interview with Robert Banks.
Right,
He's
I remember.
so interesting. He's got a good YouTube channel, very positive guy. And this week I'm finishing that interview up because he only had an hour. And
okay.
tonight he'll only have an hour.
Okay,
So tonight we're going to be talking about where he grew up and what that was like. Um, because he lives in Maryland.
Okay.
yeah.
So it's not as much, guys. I'll just tell you, it's not about drones tonight. So
No, that's okay. People enjoy coming to your show and watching you
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
I'm
but
just
he's such an interesting guy. So that's who I have tonight.
okay. All right. Well, I usually watch the first half of your show.
That'll
Um,
be
a
perfect
lot of
then.
Phantom Hodges Drone says a lot of aviation insurance goes through Lloyd's of London. Okay,
Hmm.
that's who the big insurance guys are over there for drones. See, I don't know these things, and you learn something new every day.
So
Because
droneinsurance.com. I don't know where they're out of, but they charge base coverage. That's physical damage not added. So I don't know what that's for.
okay,
But
I
it's
can't
84 for the year.
I cannot think of the name of it, but there is actually a drone company that you can put an app in your phone and you fill out your information. Of course, you're registered with them already, and you let them know how long you would be flying.
Hmm.
You let them know your flight plan and what you're charging for the job because they're assuming that you are 107 licensed pilot. Because the
Right.
problem with being a 107 licensed pilot here in the States is you can get work and cash money really easy. But for the big paying jobs, I want to know if you're insured. And this is where this comes in handy.
Well,
Right. And they insure $30 a day to fly.
Okay, but that $30 a day, you know what it covers though? I mean, up to what?
That's it looks like, let me go back. I just got out of the pricing part, but it looks like it covers everything. $7 just covers on the ground not flying, just no physical damage. So I'm not sure why you'd want that. But they say let me see.
$7 to spring the props, huh?
Yeah.
I think that's what it looked like to me. It said explore pricing. And it says, okay, let me go explore the pricing on this puppy. So it says third party liability, premises liability, personal and advertising injury. So that's all that covers. It says select the quantity of drones you want to have insured. And so for one drone, it'd be that. To include for additional drone, it's another 311. But if you want flight liability,
Okay.
limits $1
Yeah.
million.
That would be my only. How much? $200?
No, it's for 1 million for coverage
Oh,
is $30 a day
that's not too bad, depending on what they're charging you for the $30. I don't think that's bad at all.
for a day.
Yeah,
That-
for a 107 pilot, no, that's not a big deal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, do they have a lot of professional pilots in the UK? I mean, I know people do stuff.
Yeah, I mean it is a growth area still here over here. It's a PCFO they actually call it. It's something which was actually already really established before droning really became a fad or became any kind of trend, mainly because the TV companies all had their professional drone pilots who would obviously do a lot of the aerial shots, etc. So there are people in this country that have actually been qualified for a decent amount of years now. Yeah. One interesting thing on insurance in this country actually is we have an organization called the BMFA, who are the British Model Flying Association. And if you join them, which is £38 per year, you're actually covered for public liability insurance.
We have the same thing.
Al Diaz,
which works out pretty well.
Al Diaz says he wishes State Farm covered drones in California. I had no idea they didn't cover drones in California.
No.
And some Hodges drone.
We have the
CO,
same here.
the COPA is an aircraft pilot association. Their insurance companies insures drones too. Only thing is, you have to join the COPA for $60 a year and get a discount. That sounds like the AMA here.
Same thing what Sean was just talking about.
Okay, I got you.
Same thing we have here with the AMA.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
AMA you join, I think, Herman, they insure you up to $2 million.
Mm-hmm. Liability insurance.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, Verify is the app. Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Verify is the app that you can download to your phone, and as a pilot, you can pull it up on your phone and say, I need insurance for this next hour. Or I need insurance for the next 2 hours. And I think that is ingenious because you cut out the middleman, because once the insurance companies catch on, everyone else is going to try and do this.
There's an insurance company.
Well, yeah, but I mean, other digital insurance companies try. Watchio is another one. Okay. I'm going to have to look into those. But as far as flying in the UK and flying here in the United States, other than our screwed up politics here, you come over here, dude.
Well, you see,
Yeah, no, indeed.
California, State Farm probably doesn't cover drones. Insurance from state to state is different in how things play out in the United States, and you have these insurance companies that come up with these policies. It will work well for one state's laws, but not for the other state's laws. You know, like just right across the water in Jersey, automobile insurance plays out totally different. Now, if you ever get into an accident in Jersey, man, oh man, the things that are going to go on is going to be ridiculous.
I understand that, and it's not even from one state to another. I didn't know this, but a friend of mine had told me there are certain parts of Brooklyn, New York, insurance companies won't cover.
Wow.
And that's one city over. I live in Queens. What's that, Herman?
I don't know what insurance company that is.
No, he was telling me that what is that? What is the highway next to the Belt Parkway? Not the highway. There's a neighborhood. What is the area? It's a main street that runs parallel to the Belt Parkway around Grant Avenue. It stretches off over towards Herman, you might know if I could be more descriptive. But from what I was understanding, he moved to this neighborhood and he was looking for insurance companies, and a couple of insurance companies told him that they do not insure cars in that area. And I thought it was strange that an insurance company, I thought it was strange that an insurance company would say something like that, but
let me ask you this: what insurance company is he talking about? Because if it's a reputable insurance company, they will cover him. Unless he's never had insurance before.
No, it's not a reputable one. It's
Okay, that's
fly
fine.
by night.
No, that's
It's hey Sean, I see you rubbing your eyes there, man. And I know it's getting late already. If you want to break out, we appreciate it ever so much, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'll call it a night. I've got a lot of a fairly big drive tomorrow as well, so I will
No,
call it a
man, you
night.
should have said something, man.
Oh no! I'm absolutely fine. Hey, I go all night. Ask Val. I'm on
Yes.
other streams till about
There was
5:30 a.m. sometimes my
Okay,
time.
Val,
So
go get set up for your show. I know
Yeah,
you
I gotta
got
go.
20 minutes to go. And
Love you
looking forward to it,
guys.
Val.
link over here, Val.
Huh?
You
put
gonna
your link. Put your link for the ones who don't know where to catch you and how to
Yeah,
catch.
just hit my name. I'm putting it right here, and come on in.
That's
I'll
true.
be up at
Val
7.
usually goes live right after she starts her live stream, right after we go off live.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful.
and I had to pick this particular time because it's Sunday evening, 5 p.m. to 7, and I used to do internet radio shows, and my wife couldn't stand it because I would start at 5, and it was what was supposed to be a 2-hour internet radio show wind up turning into a 5-hour internet radio
Right.
because
Ouch.
sometimes when you want to leave, in fact, all the time, when you want to leave the live stream, people start coming in. Hey, what's up?
That's
I
right.
think they plan it like that. I don't know what the hell's going on, but
Well,
I used to experience that a lot.
I was gonna tell you, Lawrence. You got to remember too. Even Gilligan and them set out on a 3-hour tour.
Well, when I was doing internet radio shows, you guys know he's talking about Gilligan's Island, right? Are you familiar with that, Sean?
Absolutely.
Well, Gilligan, they set out for a 3-hour tour and they wind
Yeah,
up getting screwed. But I appreciate you coming on here. It's 6:41. We have about 19 minutes left to the live stream. Hey, what's up, Juneau County Droner? And welcome to Sunday Nights with Those Guys. We have Geeksvana on here. Please type in the room, Sean, so people will know or be able to support you.
Thank you.
We were talking about drones in a box and how industrial companies are making it so that not only can you buy a drone in a box. What do you think? Honestly, what do you think about that, Sean? Because think about it. If you had a neighbor with one of those, would you go over there and try and get them to do something with that drone?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think I don't know. I think it's as I think someone in the chat said earlier. I think the whole drone in a box is a long way off as far as being an everyday user for us mere mortals.
Right.
If you look at Tesla and the issues they're having with even trying to get autonomous driving up and running,
Yeah.
And that's now been put back decades after the deaths, etc., and the accidents that they've had there. I think the drone in the box, I can see it being absolutely fantastic, but I think I actually think things like drone in the box will possibly do a lot of damage to the hobby. Not in countries like ours where we already can't fly in urban areas, but I think I would be concerned as a hobbyist over in the States, because with that type of thing, when you then start having the drone highways, etc., I could see that becoming a real problem.
Okay. I'm listening to this. I'm sorry. I'm listening to this. Facebook has this new thing where you used to get an alert every time someone posted, but now they wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour. Then your phone goes ding, 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 ding.
It blows you up.
The same thing over in the UK?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, that drone in the box thing, like I was saying earlier, if a company can afford something like that, it'd be a great idea. The drone can not only do security for them, but could also inspect their building.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
You cut out security guards, you cut out you cut out the drone guy that they would call in every so often to come and check out the roof.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Think about this. Here's a great idea. and I hope I do become rich enough to afford a drone in a box. But what I would do is I would get a flatbed with a retractable roof, right? And I would have my drone in a box there, and I would be for hire. You wanted to shoot, you wanted to shoot a monument or something like that. Well, if you pay the amount of money that I'm asking for, I'll pull up with my drone in a box and set up waypoints and calculate everything, and and probably get paid from it.
Land Rover in the UK, who make the Range Rovers and Jaguar cars,
Yes.
they actually do have a package where they will put a drone in a box type package on top of a Land Rover, for search and rescue mainly.
Oh, get out of
But
here.
obviously, anyone with the money would be able to buy it. So you've got an off-road vehicle, obviously a decent Land Rover, and it's actually it's bespoke fitted, so you don't actually see that there's a box on top of the truck,
You know,
and the
that
panels
would be
open
great.
up and away the drone flies. It's amazing.
Is
That
it
would be great.
available or is it still in prototype?
Hey, what's up, Interactive?
It's actually out. Search and rescue companies do actually have it in operation at the moment.
Okay. Are you familiar with Zipline?
Yes,
Zipline, I was reading an article on them. Zipline is now a $1.2 billion company
incredible, isn't it?
because they started out with like an airplane catapult and a fixed wing plane, and they said if we can deliver this blood to that town 3 miles
Yeah,
away, it's a success. And the stock is going up in the company. It's working really well in Africa, where they don't have the time that it takes for someone to drive a blood sample to the local hospital is crazy, and you can use this fixed wing to fly there
yeah,
autonomously
yeah.
and deliver blood or whatever else. I,
Indeed, I believe one of their stats is actually I think their latest operation in Ghana is something like 6 million people are currently covered by 75 ambulances, ground ambulances,
yeah,
Right.
and now they're of course able to get the vaccinations to these remote clinics so much quicker. Something like 6,000 operations a year or something crazy.
yeah. Well,
It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I had did something on that on one of the Wednesday night shows, and they was flying something like 200 missions or something like that. They were saying a
That's
day.
right. That's right. It's which is incredible. I mean, that really is changing the world.
Right.
it is, and I hope the rules change in the UK because the, I did want to go there until you told
Well,
me you couldn't fly buildings anymore.
actually,
Yeah, I mean,
right
there's
now,
plenty of places
here,
you can fly still.
What happened?
what you saying? No,
What did
what I was going to say is that right now here in the States, that joint venture project over in North Carolina with Dr. Gwynn and UPS, they're flying a lot of samples back and forth over there too.
yeah, but that seems to be the only place in the United States that they're really doing something with it. Everyone else so far, law enforcement.
Oh, Wing Aviations actually was the first in the United States to get approval, but neither of them are approved on the 107. They were all approved as couriers on the 135.
Yeah, effectively as airlines, aren't they? More than
Yeah,
Right.
as
So basically, they're actually what UPS and them are courier services.
right. And as you see, like DHL, if everyone starts putting these drones in a box, strategically placed, that would be how you can deliver something. Okay, go to the drone in a box, let them do a retinal scan, which I'm not cool with anyway. I still think
no.
that's burning out your eyeball, but
Yeah,
they'll
yeah,
figure that out in about 10 years or so of people getting retinal scans. I'm still not cool with the thumb activation on my phone. I mean, I use it, I press the button, and it opens up and everything like that. But to be honest, I'm still skeptical about it because suppose that database gets hacked. I mean, I
yeah.
don't own enough for you to want something I have, but suppose that gets hacked.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed.
You still need your finger to open it.
Yeah, but that's like that James Bond thing. You knock the guy out on the neck, you take his finger and access, you know. I think that's
You
about
doing
it.
retina?
We've covered a few topics, Anything you want to speak on? Oh, interactive DNA says 5G will change how you fly your drones. Well, interactive. Before you got here, we were talking about a drone in a box called, and I have to go to my bookmarks for this because I'll call it Pepsi Cola or something because I can't remember the name all the time.
The Spawn.
It's called Percepto. This is the link, so you guys can check it out after the stream or after Val's show. But this drone is waterproof. It flies in the rain. If you want promote, no, Prusa Studios is going live. I just got an alert saying promote your channels. That's a great spot for you to hang out because if you can get on that wheel, that wheel that they have,
Yeah.
I call it the wheel of death because Mike, I don't know if he's still here. He beat me out one night.
Half of those people will be
I
going.
was number 2. I was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that side of things.
No.
No, I'm looking to grow a little slower, but to pick up people who are going to genuinely watch the content and that.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, in 6 months' time, when I'm still at 300 subs, I may change my mind.
Well, listen,
but at the moment, I'm very slow.
Honestly, Sean, be honest with you, is the thing. What it's nice, but when you wake up in the morning and 3 of the 6 are gone.
Yeah.
They weren't going to watch it.
There's the link to that Percepto drone, guys. Check it out. It's a waterproof drone. That's their YouTube channel. Okay, it's not actually not doing too well, but this particular drone is waterproof. They have a video of it in a downpour. Just when it flies in the snow. And it's an automated security guard right now. Now imagine when somebody from the military or somewhere decides to put a laser or a cow prod on it. Can you see something like that flying through, chasing somebody, trying to shock them?
Here is a scary fact on autonomous drones. Okay, this information is in the public domain. The UK have just funded 120 million pounds for research into swarm drones. And one of the 5 listed items that and uses for those swarm drones is actually going to be dealing with crowds.
Well,
so crowds of protesters.
Well, I have to find a video, and I'm going to try and forward it to you. But there's a swarm drone video on YouTube where they show the swarm being deployed out of a plane. The swarm, swarming together.
I have a news item on that actually.
What happened?
I have that on one of my news updates.
Okay.
The American version. That was scary.
But interactive. Getting back to what you're saying, not only is this drone in a box cool, but if you own property and you're a farmer, the drone does not, check out that link. The drone doesn't need you. If you tell it to patrol your property, which could be 400 and something acres every hour, it's going to. No more changing batteries. It recharges. No more SD cards, because as soon as it lands and you have a live feed, you can literally see it doing its round. Now, if you tell it to patrol an area and there's something other than animals or person walking across the field, the drone will actually pick up the person and follow them. So it will deter from its angle. It will change from its regular route if it sees someone within that parameter. Look at these videos. The link is right here. A few of the videos they have, it has point of interest and all kinds of things like that to it, of course, but it's an industrial drone. And man, oh man, if I were to ever hit lotto, I'd get one of those heifers and put it on a flatbed truck. Like you said, Sean, to be able to search and rescue would be really, really hot.
Yeah.
You're talking about put it on the back of a flatbed truck.
Well, no, something, of course, to protect it, because where I live, they would steal the truck, but more so, they would probably steal the drone in a box, not even knowing what it is.
Or have any use for it.
When you get a chance, interactive, you'll find it very interesting. That is actually their YouTube channel, and then you can go to their page, and they have a few more detailed videos. But getting back to what you were saying, Sean, about the swarming drones, I think it's so cool because you can tell these drones to search an entire crowd, and all of them would be using facial recognition at a much larger rate. And of course, it can take out a target. You saw the little drone that the guy had on stage, and it shot the dummy in the head
Absolutely.
with the
Yeah.
projectile. Now imagine if you had swarmed, you drop 1,000 of these drones out of an airplane and they swarm together, and you're hiding somewhere. These things will fly around, and once they see you're behind, it's a wrap.
Now, the problem I have with that is just like everything else man makes, especially if it comes out of China. And when it goes bad, and it will.
Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah. I mean, but this particular swarm tech that they've funded it over here in the UK for the research is actually to suppress entire crowds.
Mhm.
So basically, a way of breaking up protests, and to me, that is absolutely terrible.
think about it. You fix up a couple of them with gas pellets. You couldn't stop them. They're too fast for you
Yeah,
to
yeah,
catch. They're
absolutely.
too smart. They're too smart for you to throw something, because if they have swarm technology, if you throw something at them, they have obstacle avoidance.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly.
Now my only problem is, once the military starts messing with this stuff, and I'm sure they have. You've seen a couple of the videos. They have a smart drone that's like a bird. The
Yes,
wings come down on the side. When it flies, they come up like this and they spin in a 360, and that's how it flies. But while the bird is sitting there, you can't tell that the pigeon has a camera for its head, but everything else on it looks like a pigeon. So they're getting pretty far with this stuff. But it's 6:56, and I know it's 4 minutes to 11 there. I'm gonna end this stream so I can carry on. We can all carry on over to Val's life.
lovely.
Interactive. I promise you, I will hit you this week. I will make a day where we can get on and do hangouts and do this drone receiver racing drone thing. It's just that there, like I mentioned earlier, there's not enough hours in a day to do everything that I want to do on top of what I need to do.
Absolutely.
Like today, I literally didn't fly, and it was a beautiful day to fly, Sean. And the reason is Herman and I, he has a live stream on Wednesday nights on his channel. I have this one on Sunday. And during the week, we're literally running home to catch his show, because where he drops me off in Brooklyn, I still have to get on a train and travel home. And then I remember a couple of Sundays where I was like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it, home to do a stream. And it's just too much to go out flying and stuff. But
Absolutely.
I need to probably manage my time a little better, I'm guessing.
Don't we all?
But having Herman as a friend doesn't help any. I'm just
Harsh.
I'm just messing with him, man. I didn't bother him today.
And here we go.
I usually I harass him, but I'm starting to wait till his Wednesday night shows to do that.
Oh,
Nice.
don't worry about it.
I appreciate it much. Please put your link, Sean, one more time for whoever doesn't have it. Everyone's slowly transitioning over to Val's Life, which starts in about 3 minutes. And
Beautiful.
we appreciate having you on Those Guys. You got a wrench next to your name. You're
Thank you, sir.
officially one of those guys. And anytime you want to pop in on a panel, you just shoot me or Herman a message and say, hey, I got something you guys want to hear or whatever. You know?
Beautiful. I really, really appreciate the support, and I've really enjoyed this evening.
I hope you and your channel keep going and keep pushing and just keep doing what you're doing. You have a great concept there. I love your intro.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love your intro. I'm like, wait a minute, this guy looks real professional. So why does he? He's just starting out. So you're heading in the right direction, man. Definitely.
So, Sean, check it out.
Great, thank you.
Normally, this is the part of the show where Lawrence usually does his entertainment part of the show. But we're not doing that today.
He's gonna make me mute him again. What happened is I had said,
What kind of entertainment do we get?
I had said originally, if I get 50 people watching, I would do a dance. And somehow someone twisted the words. Thanks, guys, for hanging with us. Somehow someone twisted the words around and said if he gets $50, he would dance. He started donating money. So I felt guilty, and I broke out in a sweat and everything. And I did some little stupid because I'm not a good dancer. And then a few weeks later, to about a month later, someone says, "Oh, Lawrence said he would dance for $100," and it was no. Val actually said Lawrence is only going to dance for $100, and Paul Mary and them started sending money, and of course I had to do another stupid dance. So now I'm getting tired of dancing like a hooker on the corner.
So
I don't
everyone,
blame you.
he doesn't have to dance now. He'll dance later.
No, it's 1 minute till over. Sean, thank you so much. Let me just end
Thank
this
you, guys.
broadcast and then
Coming.
we can get out of here. Everyone, switch over to Val's Life, please. And thank you for hanging out was on Sunday nights with those guys. And don't forget, Wednesday night at 5 p.m., Herman, Phantom. Wait a minute. Where's that? Where's that arrow? This is so hard to do, Sean.
Is that
Right
what?
Herman, right there. He has a show
The other side of the screen.
on his channels Wednesday
You gotta
night.
go the other way.
Later, guys. Good night. See you at Val's.